Hey guys, this is Todd Whitehurst, Coach Todd with Carolina Rise 13-year-old team for 2010. Just wanted to talk this video right here. We're going to talk a little bit about. We're going to talk mainly about help man-to-man defense. We're going to talk about help man-to-man defense, man-to-man defense, principles of man-to-man defense. It's one of the most lost arts in basketball today, probably. If you watch the Bobcats now with Larry Brown, you're going to see a good dose of it, and you're going to see it taught correctly. I didn't play help defense when I was growing up in rec. Nobody ever taught it to me. Didn't even know what it was about until we had some good coaches with the Royals a few years ago with my older son. But we're going to talk about help man-to-man defense. Help man to man. Draw my court here. Okay, guys. When we're playing help man-to-man defense, typically I want my 4 and 5 guys picking up the biggest guys on the floor, the other post players in a man-to-man situation. My point guard, my 2 guard, and my 3 guard, or excuse me, my small forward or wing player. Okay, guys, when we're playing help man-to-man defense, if the ball's here and the 3 guys guarding it, if you're on the ball, that means you're on the ball. If you're on the ball, your job is to steal the ball at all costs. We are putting intense pressure on the ball at all times, anywhere on the floor. If you're on the ball, if your man has the ball, you're taking it from him. Okay, and we'll talk about good fundamentals about how to dig or take the ball away. But we are putting good, solid, intense pressure on the ball at all times. If the ball's in this position right here, they're set up a certain way. If one's man is right here, then one needs to be right here. You always have to be able to see your man and the ball with one hand in the passing lane right here. If you're one pass away, you want to be shaded towards your teammate who's guarding the ball. Okay, 2's man's right here. Well, 2's man is 2 passes away from the ball, so 2 needs to jump to right here. Okay, 4's man is on this side, so 2 has to have his head on a swivel. If you hear that word, head on a swivel, or that phrase, head on a swivel, you've got to be able to see your man and the ball at all times when you're not guarding the ball. When you're guarding the ball, you're on the ball, and that's all you're worried about. But when you're not guarding the ball, you got to be able to see your man and the ball at all times. So what happens is, one is in a one pass away help position. If 3 got beat, one's got to be in a good enough position to where he can move his feet, not reaching. I see too much of that reaching going on in basketball today. 2 needs to be able to move his feet and square up, get in front of that guy. Okay, or 1 needs to be able to move his feet right here and help his defender, help his teammate. 3 gets back to the lane if he gets beat and picks up the closest man that's free. Okay, 2 is secondary. He'll jump over because he can see ball and man, and he will jump out in front if his teammate gets beat. Okay, so let me redraw that real quick, and I hope I'm not saying this in a way that's confusing. Basically, if the ball's on this side and your man is right here, if the ball's over here and you're guarding this guy right here, you need to jump to the middle and jump back some, okay? Because you want a good angle on your man and a good angle on the ball. If your teammate gets beat, you can step up and get in the way. You never want to turn your back of your head to the guy you're guarding. Because if you were up here guarding this guy and the ball's over here, you turn the back of your head and look over here, and you're not in a position to see your man, he's going to go backdoor on you at all times. Basically what this means, guys, is help man to man. And we're going to talk more about this, and we have drills that we're going to be able to teach you on this. Basically, if you're guarding the man off the ball and the ball's over here, you got to be in a position to where you can see your man and the ball and be able to help out and stop the ball. And if one man helps out, the next man closest has to rotate in front of the rim. We want good rotation, getting in front of the dump off guys. Because if you rotate and help out, this guy's going to go to the rim. Well, the next guy needs to dump over and help him out. There needs to be a rotation, okay? So we're going to go over that in more detail. I'm not real confident in the way that I explained it, but basically is, if you're on the ball, your job is to steal the ball. If you're off the ball, you need to be able to see your man and the ball. One pass away, you want to be able to help out your teammate who's defending the ball. Two passes away, if you're over here, you want to jump to the lane and be able to see your man and the ball at the same time. You're always head on a swivel, looking at the ball, man. You know where they're at. Never turning the back of your head where your eyes cannot see the guy you're guarding, because he will cut to the basket behind you in a heartbeat. Okay? Ball and man. You'll hear me say that all the time. Know where the ball and the man and your man is at all time, and be willing to step over. If your teammate gets beat off the dribble or off a pass or a cut, you got to be willing to leave your man and step over and stop the ball. Okay? This has been a little bit about help defense for the 13-year-old Carolina Rise boys 2010. Talk to you soon.